It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us make them remember we are not afraid! No fear here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, from the beautiful studios of Freedoms of the Nest, freedomsphoenix.com. You also stay tuned for the last half hour of the show. I got all kinds of breaking news for you that's of concern to the Lovolution. You got to stay right there, and we'll see what we can do. Now, we have Eddie Schmidt on. Eddie Schmidt, now in the second hour here, I want to make sure we get a good introduction here. He's served as president of the board of directors of IDA. That's the International Documentary Association. Produced a lot of feature documentaries. He does a lot of television. He's directed and produced and written documentaries and comedy specials for HBO and Lionsgate and PBS and A&E. The boy's got skills. He is in the industry. You want to blame somebody in Hollywood? Well, call Eddie up. You know, he's to blame for something. I'm sure he can be. But he's trying to cure it, man. You know, he's providing us opportunities. He's going, look, there is an entirely new opportunity for you to be able to experience the power of motion pictures without the manipulation and the filtering and the funneling through the industry that uses the rating service to determine which films get made, which ones are rated what, and in direction of what? Of the violence, of the fear, of the horror, the what. If that's money, you know, I don't want them determining what I need to see or not, or so. You know, I just don't want to be, you know, socially engineered. So I'm looking for an opportunity for us as human beings to be able to make our own decisions for ourselves and our families without being manipulated by the industry that's just trying to get the cash out of my pocket, which I don't have a problem with. I just don't want to be manipulated and be denied choices. The internet provides that. So Eddie's going to go ahead and help us out. Eddie Schmidt, please, tell us what kind of opportunities we have in the future. You're just starting to get into it at the end of the last hour. Please pick up where you left off.
Sure. Well, I think we now have the ability to, you know, bypass some of the buffers of kind of conglomerates and media conglomerates and chain theaters and things like that to take films directly to their intended audience or even the widest possible audience by coming right into your own homes via whatever, Netflix streaming, iTunes, Amazon Instant. I mean, all of these, they're all portals. And so as long as you can get your film placed on the portal, then you have the opportunity to reach people. And even with theaters, it may be tough to get films into chains, but there are there's really independent theaters in pretty much every town. They may not be as robust as some of the chains, but you'd be surprised. They're hungry for interesting things. And if you've got a good film and a good way to promote it, you can get to your audience. It's just you might have to build it. You might have to build it yourself, but the opportunities are out there.
Well, the opportunity, if someone's a filmmaker, where does the talent come from? Because of I'll give you an example. Starting about 07 is when we really started making use of video. We had YouTube got going, you know, and such, and then our site, we started incorporating videos. We're getting into the Ron Paul support and such, and everybody just learned how to do Movie Maker and went all stupid on that. Then we had documentary that was done about. It was very well done, and as time went on, all of a sudden you have all these now preteens then and teenagers learning the art of movie editing. And with technology, all of a sudden you have all these people are able to take, even with these inexpensive $500 HD cameras, the quality has gotten to the point to where you can pretty much have anybody anywhere with some skills and the ability and the intelligence and motivation to be able to compete with the big studios. That has to be of concern to them.
I think it is. I mean, Francis Ford Coppola had a famous quote from several years ago, like, you know, the next Kubrick will be a 14-year-old girl from Iowa or something like that. I mean, just that he saw then that power was there, and I think it is there, and the difficulty then becomes, how do you get the eyeballs? If everybody, you know, has their own channel, why watch yours? So I think that's where what I do think is a positive thing is that all the technology, and I think Hollywood is, you know, the technology companies have mostly existed in trying to be user-friendly, user-driven, you know, as opposed to we're going to, you know, shove something down your throat. So the opportunity is there for a more level playing field. The tricky part comes in is just, you know, kind of rising above the din and getting people to pay attention. That's the hard part. You know?
Well, you know, we see this in, I'll give you an example. You know, I'm 50, so I've been around a little bit. And in the mid-'90s, we could tell the internet was going. Man, we go, whoa, this communication, email, bypassing the media, we see where this is going. And Freedom's Phoenix and a lot of what we do was born in our heads then. We're just waiting for the bandwidth. And part of that was we started in June of 05, go, oh, here comes this YouTube thing. Here we go. Okay, ready to go. We already knew what we wanted to do. The thing is that when you have this explosion of the opportunity, all these sites and everything out there, how did you go find them? Well, here came Yahoo. You know, yeah, there's some college students out there say, you know, we're just going to search and do. Now with Google and other search engines and so on, and all it needs is a little spark, just to kind of, like with your movie, this film is not yet rated, to just put doubt in these people that we've turned over our brains to tell us what's good and bad. All you have to do in this spot, and I'm going to do it here. We're going to have us some fun. We're going to look somewhere else to be able to find the entertainment that more supports our values, our entertainment, what we want to pass on to the next generation, and not let them do it. So I'm saying it's already coming, man, and I just need you just rattle off some sites and so on. We'll start helping promote it and start being buttheads here to make sure it happens.
Well, I think you just look, yeah, I mean, you know, as far as stories and things, you know, you look for the holes. What are the things that the mainstream news media is not covering? What are the kinds of stories that Hollywood is not interested in right
Freedom.
now? And, you know, I mean, you know, Hollywood is, you know, they want to make money, so it's, you know, there's lots of trends and flavors of the month. You know, there'll be a spate of body switching movies. You know, so anyway, there's many opportunities to just identify. Well, what's important or interesting that's falling through the cracks, and that's a great place to go.
Is there a campaign against certain kind of movies that you start to get like you're saying, a new genre? I mean, here comes westerns go away. Then Western, heck, we even got cowboys and aliens now, okay? So,
right.
I mean, so you have these movies will come and go based on whatever thing. Now it's the comic book action hero. I mean, we're building all the way up to Avenger stuff, And I'm going, right. What is the trend? Is it all economics, or is there someone back there? It's like bell-bottom pants just come back into vogue. I mean, is it they're just going through the cycle? Is it being manipulated? Is it this public relation making us want something? You fill a need or create it, and they just keep creating it? Or is there something that you think that the people are going through a cycle? They're going to be yearning for something, and what might that be?
Well, most people, even creative people, will tend to copy what is successful. So one thing, but of course, what's going to be the most successful? Something original. So it's very hard to predict what's going to be the next thing, except to see what isn't being covered. Don't make something that there's already 6 of.
Original. Let me tell you what's original. We own ourselves. We can be free. We can raise the next generation to not be warmongering, hating crap. Can we do that? I think there's a market for it. We'll see. Maybe we can even influence it. I'm looking for the filmmakers.